Hi Gemini, my name is Griselle with Psychic MD, and I'm here to do your December 2020 reading. So here we go. The deck I'm using, John Holland's Psychic deck. I'm also going to be using these healing cards. They're literally called healing cards. And I got a new deck today that I'm trying out. You're only my second reading that I'll be using the Soul Truth cards. So, also after the reading, I'm going to go ahead and place a picture on the very back end of the video. That way, if you'd like to do a screenshot so you can look at the cards yourself, they are available for you. All right, Gemini, without further ado, here we go. I'd like to know, what does Gemini have in store for December 2020? I'd like to know what is good, what's going to be helpful, what's going to help them feel fruitful, abundant, and wealthy in every sense of the word, please. Now, before, when I was meditating on Gemini, I saw a big diamond, and the diamond became a bouquet of flowers. And so I feel like commitment in a lot of ways are going to be important for some of you Geminis. Okay. I'm going to just take this card flip for you. It is your intuition. It is the third eye, which is right here, your sixth chakra. Okay, sixth chakra is being highlighted as being important. So maybe you yourself are getting your intuitive messages. Maybe your third eye is opening and you yourself are able to kind of see what's coming, have your own visions. Maybe you're having dreams. Psychic activity, any of those things that are happening for you. Perhaps you're more drawn to the color purple than you ever have been before, which again stands for wealth and abundance. Back in the day, only people that were really wealthy used purple. It seemed to be like a regal thing. Anyways, so your third chakra can come into play here. Look. What did I tell you? You saw the cards right here. Material harvest. I feel like you are coming into your own. I feel like you're getting in the receiving mode. And I feel like the more that you relax into it, knowing and even meditating that you are abundant no matter what you have. It doesn't have to be financial, but just having family, having people living around you, having the ability to turn on the television, having electricity, all of these things that we can be grateful for, right? Having things come your way. I feel like you're going to be receiving as well as freely giving. So you're leaving your hands open and saying, you know what is mine will come to me and it will be. And you're just allowing that to be like your mantra in some way, shape, or form. Now, Gemini. I do want to point out, I do have these two really official ghosts of buildings, I want to call them, okay? And they look like columns to me. They look a lot like a courthouse. So maybe you've had to deal with court issues before. Maybe you're going to court, taking someone to court, someone's taking you to court, hopefully not. But that could be, maybe you're getting profit or like a windfall from a court that has made a court decision is what I'm trying to say, right? So somehow, some way, I feel like that could be something that's factoring into your reading in December 2020. If that's not the case, then it could be that you're just really wanting justice and a firm foundation, or you're waiting on some kind of a ruling to come through for you, okay? So it doesn't necessarily have to be like a real courthouse, but you're waiting for, what's a verdict? Like, am I getting what I deserve? I put a lot of time and effort into things, and I'm just going to let it come. If it's mine, it's going to come. If it's not, I'm going to move on because I'm happy and secure within myself. And what I'm pointing out right here, you can't really tell, but I'm making a reference to your root chakra, which is the third chakra from the 7 typical ones that we do discuss, okay? If you're not familiar with those, go ahead and look those up. There's a ton of people that can give you information on that on YouTube. I have a couple of videos out on them as well. But again, this is referencing your abundance and knowing and energetically attracting that to yourself. So I really like that. The next card that I get, I do not like for you. This is trapped in fear. So maybe you've been like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. You're getting headaches because you're overthinking things. You have been not able to feel that abundant. And so maybe I feel like you're coming out of this energy in December feeling like you're frozen. A lot of us have been frozen, whether it's been, an inability to travel, inability to work, or any of those things that have affected your heart chakra, how you feel good and juicy about yourself and excited and thriving, all those things. I feel like maybe you've been on lockdown and you've gotten a headache over it. You're in your head, you don't know what to do, and that's being like trapped in fear. But just know, and in some ways, you are being divinely protected. I feel like this is almost like a lattice to a greenhouse, that the environment within can be controlled. And really, the environment and climate can be controlled within ourselves. And so, for those of you, and I'm not trying to take this lightly at all, I struggle a lot with depression. I have my whole entire life. And so, if that is your story, I'm very sorry. I do relate and I do understand that. But the bottom line is, only I can control what goes on within myself, my own body, like these two walls even. And so if you can kind of, and I'm getting confirmation on that from Spirit, if you can possibly try to kind of separate that and say, okay, this is how I'm feeling, but only I can control what goes on in my mind, what I choose to feed it, whether it's my own negative words, other people that are affecting you negatively, listening to other people that are freaking out about what's going on in the world, adding fuel to your own concerns, your own fears, your own fires of like everything is going to self-destruct. We can choose who, within limits, I would say, who we listen to or what we feed our minds. Are you listening to the news all day and you're just like, oh my goodness, I can't even take this anymore? You need to disconnect from those things and those people that push you to be trapped in fear. Okay, I know there are family members that you could be connecting with that are like pushing that as well, kind of escalating things, that anxiety, and it leaves you feeling like rendered helpless, like I can't move, I'm trapped, I don't know what to do. So it is a number 8, it is a cycle, but a number 8, on the other hand, can stand for abundance. So don't get so trapped in your head that you don't see the gold and light, the beauty around you, the possibilities, even to make an income that's right there for you. You just need to lift up your head. A lot of us, when we're stuck in this like trapped in fear or depression or both, have a hard time like lifting our heads up and seeing the world for like what really is going on. Like we can, give yourself a little bit of time to decompress and feel those feels, and then try to fight your way out of it. Please seek professional help if this is your story and if that's what's needed here. Only you know your case, right? So with that, we're moving on from this. So one thing I feel like that's been really affecting you is people, Gemini, that have authority over you, or you feel like the authorities, kind of like with the whole pandemic going on, and just I'm reading this towards the tail end of November. So December, this is your reading, and it could be that, you know what, this whole global thing going on, and they're establishing like global authorities, the CDCs, and whatever the case may be, that could be causing you a lot of anxiety because it affects everyone, right? It's affecting everybody's livelihood. Whether you agree with what they're doing or whether you don't isn't the issue. The issue is that they have authority in such a way that's really affecting you and feeling like you are trapped in fear in a lot of ways as well. So I feel like this is a reference and a nod, if you will, about what is going on globally and your ability to exert any power over it, okay? So I feel like this is like solid and it's unmoving and unbending. So following this authority, okay, figure, which could, by the way, also reference your boss, an overbearing parent, an overbearing spouse, or you yourself dogmatically wanting everything your way. So there's a lot of different things that could come into play under this authority figure, okay? But unyielding and unbending is the gist of the matter, dear Gemini. Gemini, also, if you could please take a moment to like, share, subscribe, comment if you have not done already. I would really appreciate that help, that nod as well, okay? Moving on, obstacles and challenges. So this is obviously what you're facing, what you're feeling. You're feeling like that authority figure is creating some obstacles and challenges, but I want to really point out to you, it is a small step. It is a small chasm. I can never pronounce this word, you guys. So Gemini, forgive me if I totally like sabotage that. I should have looked it up. I have a problem pronouncing some words. I am a well-read person, but not necessarily well-spoken. Okay, so I'm gonna say that this is like a little chasm that you have to overcome. And you can actually not even have to take a running leap. This can be overcome by simply taking a slightly bigger step than what you're accustomed to overcome that little pitfall, okay? So I want to say that go ahead and write down whatever it is that seems monumental, that you feel like, gosh, these are like big obstacles and stuff, because sometimes our bodies and our minds tell us that things are bigger and wider and further than what they really should be. Everything perspective. I think about people building model homes and things like that, how you have to scale everything in a perfect manner for it to make sense. So for example, if you're building like a model home and then you scale a sink like the way we think of it, the way we have it in our homes, and you try to fit it into a model home, that will obviously never work. It's going to crush the house. So please think of everything on the proper scale. Notice if it's skewed in any way. These are fluctuations, so things could be throwing you off balance because there's a lot of different changes. And when a lot of different changes come, for me personally, I feel discombobulated. I feel better personally when things are unsteady, when things are kind of laid out in a routine. I do better in a routine. I hate to admit it, but I do. So it could be that a lot of fluctuations and changes are making you feel discombobulated, like this is monumental. When if you write them down and you observe and maybe get input from your friends and family or a therapist, whomever, that it's not that big of a deal, that they're really small in the grand scheme of things, and it's just kind of us being like, wow, taking all these little changes and mushifying them together and causing like a big Grand Canyon moment, when really it's like a little step. Okay, or maybe it means like little steps will lead to you feeling that things are on more solid ground. Now, a couple of things I want to point out in this card is you do see these little, they look like hummingbirds or little orbs. I don't know what's going on here, but I feel like you're getting little glimmers of hope, little glimmers of messages, little things that make you feel inspired, like there is a light at the end of this tunnel, like you're not walking on a tightrope. Also, I feel like your voice has a lot to do, dear Gemini, as to what you're feeling right now. Using your voice a little bit more is going to help you cross this little bridge, or scale that gap, whatever you want to call it. Using your voice more, and it's going to be your voice of truth, not your voice of garbage, of parroting what everybody else is saying, or telling people what they want to hear, because it's a small river, but this river is intense, it's blue, it's beautiful, and it's strictly your own voice box, being able to express what's true to you. So be careful not to mince with words and waste words just trying to pacify other people around you. You need to speak your truth in order to overcome these hurdles and obstacles. So continue practicing. If you're not used to really speaking your truth, Gemini, and I don't know if it's true for, what they say about Geminis, that they have like two sides or whatever, that may or may not be true. But the biggest thing is, with all the fluctuations, be sure that you're speaking from a centeredness, from a place of truth to you, and not to placate other people or to pacify other people or to get them to calm down or whatever. It's all about your truth. That's going to be really important for you to feel like December is cohesive and not fragmented and like willy-nilly and changing things up and down for you. Okay? Hope that makes sense. Bringing this back around, it's going to be your foundation is being referenced. So discontentment and boredom can have a lot to do with what's going on. That can cause like changes and upset. We can cause our own demise because we get bored with whatever the case may be. Maybe you're locked into like your own home and you can't go out. You're on lockdown, or you've been on lockdown, or you're on a strict schedule and you can only call the authorities when you need to go shopping or send a text. Get proper permission. I know some places like that. I don't know if it's the Philippines or Australia. I can't remember exactly where. You guys forgive me, but your own lockdown situation, it could be changing and varying so that you're looking at your own walls. And pretty soon, even this like beautiful veranda, I'm not pronounce that either, can look like, you know what, it's just not enough. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of looking at this like concrete, veranda type thing, and I don't even want to look outside anymore at the greenery. I'm sick of looking at leaves. I'm sick of looking at trees. I'm sick of like my own point of view at this point in time. So it could be that you're feeling this way. Now, I want to tell you, do not self-sabotage because you have a firm foundation, a lot of stability here. If that is the case and that's happening to you, I'm going to suggest that you try a different focal point. If you're used to standing here and looking out in the horizon, or a certain time of day, pick a different time of day, pick a different viewpoint, different stance. Even touching trees and getting more stability from that is going to help you from feeling this boredom. I mean, even looking at a leaf under a microscope is going to give you a different perspective than looking from this area. So my whole point is try to look at things with a different eye, because that discontentment and boredom can lead to a lot of trouble and disrupt your own foundation. And that can be caused by your own hand, frankly. Like, we could cause our own demise and make our own selves crazy, okay? So everything within perspective, within like your own power, whatever you can do. So moving forward, I hope that wasn't like too choppy for you to understand. I got into that number 5 energy. So here we have the 10, the destiny. Okay, so I want you to notice we have the flirt of life, which you can look this up online if you're curious about it. I'm noticing a lot of pink, a lot of like nostalgia. I'm feeling a lot of like nostalgia. This lady seems to be protecting her own heart. Like her hands are like here and she doesn't want her heart messed with, which none of us do, right? But there is a lot of growth. This reminds me of a lotus flower growing up from the mud. And I think that it's almost like illuminating everything. It's illuminating her and even her stance that she wants to protect herself. And even Gemini, I think how we have like 2 different sides or whatever the case may be for the Gemini. We're multifaceted. We're not just one person. Like, you may be a mom or a father to a child or children, but you are also a son or a daughter. You are also the granddaughter or grandchild. You are also a co-worker, a mentor, a teacher, a student. You are many different things to the world around you. So don't feel like you are just one role that you have to fulfill, okay? I feel like that is coming out really strongly from this. Also, I want to point out that the lotus flower, from what I know, I don't know a ton about it, but it reminds me of that book, No Mud, No Lotus. And in it really talks about things blooming out of a hardship, okay? And so things that are really difficult for us do cause us to be our best, kind of like a diamond that's really compressed, which is what I opened up with in my meditation, actually, a diamond. And when things are compressed so tightly that it becomes a diamond, it just becomes this beautiful thing. So things are falling away, things are changing. If you notice, I've never noticed before, these 2 people here that are, fragments of her, parts of her, maybe things are changing, but I feel like new things are being sketched, okay? I'm going to flip this around. These are new, I don't want to say new personas, but new roles that are blooming from the hardships, from the tough times that we've been having in December 2020. So, dear Gemini, if you've had a really, really difficult year, I want to say everybody's had their own challenges, but I want to say that you are going to really grow and thrive, that things are being sketched out for you so that you fulfill a deeper and brighter role than you ever thought, okay? So when things are changing around you and your role is changing in life, in society, within your own familial home, whatever that may look like, even at school, dear Gemini, you do have hope because you have new things coming out from this oppression in this like tough time for you, okay? So I am sorry that is happening. Backing that up, look, I have disruption. And this guy, it's almost like he's wearing like a mental institution thing. It's almost like you're going crazy, okay? But we're protecting our heart chakra. We don't want to let things go in a lot of ways. And I have almost here like hands that are in bondage, like still protecting her heart once again. But this terrain is like really concrete, it's dark, it's murky, and there's light behind you. It's a number 16, which boils down to 7. Get more in touch with your spirituality. That is what's going to really help bring out the best in you and to allow you to kind of dissolve and let go of things that no longer become you. Maybe, for example, you were a boss and you've always been a boss for this one company, and maybe you lost your position or indeed your job. And if that's so, I am very sorry, Gemini. But I want to say that out of that is coming an incredible you that you never thought possible. It allows you to pursue a dream and a love that you have left long behind, and bringing that into the forefront, okay? So, building blocks, I think you're going to notice a lot of changes. Pardon me. With that, I see a number 5, fluctuations in your speech, your throat chakra, excuse me, what you're saying to yourself, what you're saying to the world. I think it's going to be clearer than ever before. You're going to be more you than you ever have been before, dear Gemini. It's almost like all those different parts of you are condensing and becoming more solid you. And other parts that were not really you, maybe like you had a yes, that person, yeah, that person, or fulfill roles that really didn't become you. They weren't you. Those are falling away, making room for a greater you and just being more solid, more authentic. I feel like, Gemini, December is a time for you where you're becoming more authentic. It could be under duress, under pressure, okay? But in the end, all of these changes and fluctuations, and number 5 again, they are helping you to become your shiniest you, if that makes sense. Around you, or it could be you, Gemini, deception and envy. So it could be that you're looking at other people with jealousy, other people look at you with jealousy. But I feel like the more that you become your more authentic self, you might even struggle with, gosh, I wish that things weren't the way they were before. Why does so-and-so have it better than I do? Right? Sometimes we could get into that. But I want you to tap into the background, that energy of like spirituality, where you are being compressed and you're being forced to bring out the best in you, the light in you that's always been there, and not about like what's around you, allowing that to fall away. I think that that's going to flow like a stream and allow you, once again, so sorry, to tap into the better parts of you. If you are the victim of, what do they call that, the evil eye, people eyeballing you, and not such a good way, obviously. Stop right here, regroup. That's an edit for sure. Just making sure that you're authentic in yourself and not busy looking around trying to match the Joneses, okay? Because that's kind of what I'm feeling, is what helped you prosper before isn't what's going to help you prosper now. So December could be things about major changes as well. I have conflicts and defeat. Be sure that you don't run into the basement. For me, the basement is my lower self, not being my best, retreating into what I know, running and hiding. Whereas you see here, shadows of people in drawings, almost like being in a cave and having like primitive drawings of your ancestors running up the stairs. Being willing to, I'm so sorry, I don't know what's going on. Being willing to face the light, okay? Being willing to ascend, being willing to go in a spiritual way that they've never gone before. So they're running up the stairs, and this running upstairs takes more energy, I think, than running down. So this is going and retreating within and trying to kind of hide from changes and things. Your ancestors are saying, come, run the opposite direction, run towards it, run towards the light, towards change. You'll feel so much better. You'll feel liberated, all right? Woo! Now we have the good stuff, okay? The crown chakra. So you're going to be getting messages from above. Avoid running towards the past, okay? Crown chakra, number 7, being more spiritual, getting your own messages. Having those messages be on tap. And I think it's going to be so soothing because all of a sudden now I feel calm. I feel like I'm not struggling with even my speech and talking. I feel like I don't have to know all the answers in order to feel like I'm in a better place and indeed be in a better place, right? So your crown chakra, that's your 7th chakra, is being highlighted here. Getting your own messages. Again, being a lot more spiritual than what you are accustomed to. I feel like there is a connection to you connecting with your ancestors, your lineage. Dear Gemini, it could be you researching more about your lineage and what they went through in this physical world, and even hearing about their spirituality and what they were like on this realm, but connecting and feeling like they're with you as well. So I think that's really, really cool. Gemini, last message, foundation and achievement. So I think this is going to give you a new foundation. And the root of it is really connecting back to your ancestors and allowing yourself to ascend and see a bigger picture than what you really thought. It might take some struggle within you, battling, dear Gemini, your two halves, battling your old selves and reinventing yourself in a lot of ways. But you're going to have your foundation and achievements available to you and just to you. You're going to be happy. You're going to feel solid and excited once again. Healing messages for Gemini. That I died just making your video. Sorry about that. So healing messages for Gemini, please. Let the healing power of your spirit run through your hand as you reach to touch another, but say nothing to the person you help. Learn to give invisibly. Help others quietly without expecting gratitude or rewards. So that's really cool. Extending help to other people. And I have the Soul Truth cards. So, Gemini, Soul Truth cards for my Gemini friends here. What's going to help my Gemini tribe in December? Name all the things you love. Name all the things you love. It says, are you one of them? Today's mantra, I give myself all the love and attention I need. So make sure you're taking care of your inner core, the things that make you feel happy. Most of all, I feel like you're going to need to connect with those things that give you peace. Okay, a lot of peace for you. Encourage your own peace. Any way, shape, or form in December 2020. It's going to help you remain stable and more confident for December 2020. It'll help you weather all the changes. I'm going to take another one for you. Gemini 2020. What is a soul truth? Okay, you got 2 more cards. Does my life have room for more pleasure and play? In what area are you lacking pleasure right now? Maybe in certain relationships or work. Is it possible to shift the consciousness of life to experience a more creative, wild, and playful side of you? So today's soul action. What would happen if you added more play and laughter into your life? What area is lacking in this right now? Take time to play. Let go of any need to produce anything. Getting down to your core once again. Last card. Again, can you please like, share, subscribe, comment to help my channel grow? Much appreciated, Gemini. Your card says, where am I called to use my voice right now? You have a soul script that was written to be spoken. Your story matters, and it's time for you to share it with the world. Share your story with at least one person today. Be brave and speak your truth. Your voice will be the catalyst for healing in others. Okay? So stay tuned for the picture of your cards at the end of this video. With that, thank you so much, Gemini, and I hope that you have a beautiful December. Please leave me any comments on what you'd like to see in future videos.